So, according to US and China readouts, the Taiwan issue didn't come up during the APEC summit between Xi Jinping and President Trump. Is this unusual?
It is. I think that in most summit level meetings, the Chinese side raises Taiwan. We certainly know that Xi Jinping raised Taiwan when he met with President Biden in the fall of 2023 and when they met in Bali the year before that. There had been a lot of media that had speculated that President Xi Jinping would, in fact, raise this with President Trump.
So, why did you think that this wasn't even mentioned? Or it was mentioned, but neither side wanted to make it public?
I think it was probably not mentioned. And again, I can only speculate. We don't know. Maybe the Chinese are somewhat less concerned about U.S. policy toward Taiwan because over the last few months, we have seen the Trump administration make some decisions that seem to prioritize Beijing's interests or maybe put off some of the things that they were doing with Taiwan. The meeting was only about 1 hour and 45 minutes. Maybe they just ran out of time, but it does look like the two leaders will meet next year, maybe in April, and I wouldn't be surprised if Taiwan is raised then.
It's interesting because after the summit, just during the 60 Minutes interview, President Trump was asked what he would do if China makes a move on Taiwan. And President Trump said it's a secret. Is the U.S. back to strategic ambiguity? What is the Trump's policy on Taiwan?
In my view, the United States never changed its policy of strategic ambiguity, although I would caveat that by saying that there is no U.S. document that says that our policy is strategic ambiguity. The United States just has not made clear since it established diplomatic ties with the People's Republic of China in 1979 whether or not it would come to Taiwan's defense, because of course before that we had a mutual defense treaty with Taiwan. So we left it ambiguous, and that was interpreted by people outside government as a policy of strategic ambiguity. So that's my interpretation. But I think it is very interesting that President Trump is reluctant to say anything about whether or not the United States would defend Taiwan. However, he continues to say that Xi Jinping knows what he would do, he knows what the consequences would be, and then he claims that Xi Jinping has told him that as long as you're president, Donald Trump, I will not attack Taiwan, as long as you're in control.
But do you think the Chinese side actually said something to him that they would not attack Taiwan when he's the president?
I highly doubt it. I don't think that anybody in China's leadership would say that as long as President Trump holds the presidency in the United States, that China will not use force against Taiwan. China has never taken force off the table. They haven't done so temporarily or for a longer period of time. I think this is just President Trump trying to shape the narrative and shape the conversation.